The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment purposes only. The viewpoints expressed, although based on very real topics, are not to be taken as fact. With that being said, enjoy the show.
Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Really? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. Hello, world, and welcome back to Part in the Politics podcast, season 3, episode 30. I'm your co-host Jeezy, along with my brother Manny, here joining us on the episode. Brother, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored.
Hey, and on the other side, we have none other than the chairman of chaos, the purveyor of truth, none other than brother Chuck. Chuck, how you doing today, brother?
Really? Man, we here. I'm tired. I'm hurting.
Right.
I'm sore. I need some joint juice.
Right.
Listen, I feel my age today.
Hey, bro.
Bro, it be like that, man.
It's some moments in life that it reminds you, right?
It reminds you. Say everyone, when you try to get ahead of yourself, there's something in life that lets you know.
Hey, bro.
Come on back. Hold on. Just hold on.
Sit down. Go ahead and sit down.
That's a very good point you made, because I'm waiting for that moment where my middle baby asks me, "Dad, do you know how to skip?" and then I have to think, when is the last time I actually skipped, bro? First of all, is it culturally appropriate to skip?
Yes. Remember when that there was a I hate saying viral moment.
It's a TikTok trend.
Yes, a trend going around where black men was skipping through the fields.
Oh yeah, the black boy joy thing.
Yeah, can you skip? And some people. I almost said a word
Here we go.
Is a faux pas nowadays. But some guys look like they struggled, and then there were some guys who was able to skip. After this past weekend, the only thing I'm doing is skipping TV channels. Cause this right knee of mine, boy.
Hey, bro. And it always seems to come out of nowhere. Like when did I ever have a knee problem?
Oh no! See, here's my thing, and Jeezy, you had this a little bit with your oldest daughter, but you'll definitely have it more with your last two. As they get older, they keep you younger, and that's where I am. My daughter is a sophomore in college. My son's a freshman in high school. So the lingo, the different things that's going on. And so I look younger than I am. Actually, I had an older lady hit on me. Was she hitting on me? She was. She was like, "Oh, you got a little baby face." I said, "Girl, I'm older than what you think. Right. Watch yourself now." I tell them all the time, I'm old enough to get the auntie, but look young enough to get the daughter. You better watch it.
Hey.
but as I'm standing there, I said, yeah, my knee told me and reminded me I'm in my 40s. And I'm not talking about just crack 40 either. But I'm pushing at the top of the hill about to roll over.
And it always does it right at the moment where you're moving with the most confidence.
Right.
No, I was standing still. And it said, hey, hey, you. Hey, you.
Just in case you forgot. hit you with the hello, it's me.
In fact.
Not the Adele.
Hello.
Oh, man. Look, well, brother, I hope at some point of this week, after the week that you've had, brother, you get you some rest and recoup, brother. But I know sometimes.
Nope. Because when our listeners are hearing this, I will be partaking in the festive moment of moving my daughter back into the dorm and on campus. So yeah,
bro, ain't no rest.
No
present.
No
black dad, bro.
Because guess what, guys? My son's first scrimmage game is the Friday of this week.
Oh man.
Oh man.
So no.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Hey, man.
Hopefully next Saturday, maybe.
Get you one of them biofreeze rubs or one of them patches.
That's what I'm gonna need.
Just slap it on.
That
put
KG
some
tape.
cologne on top of it so can't nobody smell the menthol when you're out in public.
Hey, I'm about to go get me a copper fit knee brace.
Bruh. Hey, as long as you don't go out with the compression
With the
socks.
socks.
But the OGs in the grocery store be killing me, bro.
Right.
They in there in the produce aisle walking. They got the shortest shorts they can find. And the
Pressure socks and slides.
all the way to the kneecap.
Half an inch right below the knee.
Or the arm sleeve like Allen Iverson, bro. They swear by it. I'm convinced that it don't work but I haven't used it yet, but they swear by it, bro.
The first time I seen when somebody had the compression sleeve with the closed glove portion.
Oh yeah.
Threw me all the way off. I thought it was the scary movie My Germs.
Bro,
Hand,
or you trying out for a role in Mortal Kombat as Jax.
That's so
what you got this mechanical carbon fiber arm,
bro.
The $6 million man out here, bro. What in the world?
It's still talking about saying, can you hand me that cabbage over there, player? You know, my elbow. Man, you got all that copper on, man. I'm supposed to be asking you to hand me stuff. We ain't got to that age yet, bro. We ain't got to that age.
Nah. But
we're gonna look back on this episode years later and be like, hey, bro, you remember we were talking about them OGs with that copper fiber, them copper sleeves stuff?
I might be there next week. The way things going right now, man, let me tell you.
Hey, man. Well, hopefully, brother, you can catch some at some point. At some point, man.
Quick
to our listeners,
rest and a nap.
To our listeners, welcome to another episode. We hope this episode finds you in the best space, and we thank you for tuning back in with Partner Politics. We're going to jump right into our first segment. We're going to take things
real quick before we jump into that segment. I want y'all to see what type of time we on. You see the energy that we have.
Hey, look.
We've been trying to start recording for at least the last 45 minutes.
Facts. So this is the type of time and energy we on right now. Just as a preface and a warning.
As a steward tell you on the plane, your seatbelt light is still on. So this ain't time for you to get up and go to the laboratory. Everybody stay buckled. There might be a little turbulence.
We got no gathering in the front or the back of the plane.
Make sure your tray's in the upright position and all electronics are stored away.
Hey, nowadays, they doggone, you can't even have your laptop out. You can't have a portable charger.
Yep.
Or using the portable charger. That thing threw me off.
I didn't understand that, bro. I'm like, so I can't use it, and then if I got to keep it nearby in case something happens, like, what all these restrictions what y'all got going on this plane? And then y'all still ain't giving, y'all still taking too long to give me my cranberry juice. You asking more of me, but giving me less.
Here it is. They said you don't have to take your shoes off anymore coming through TSA. So because you keep your shoes on,
bump that.
You can keep that portable charger.
But half the airport done paid the $85 to not take the shoes off at this point.
But everybody going through regular check-in checkpoint don't got to take their shoes off now.
True. Oh, true.
Or take your belt off.
Yeah,
I was like, what? And these new machines look like an MRI machine. Anyway, let's start this episode.
Yeah, like we said, we warned y'all what kind of time we
Yep. We warned y'all.
We got a plan. We walked in here with a plan. Now the execution of that plan,
hey,
we'll see how it goes.
Sometimes you got to run the audible, bro.
That's right. Omaha.
Right. Well, we ain't going to Omaha, but let's go to Michigan. So we can call it Michigan. Michigan was pretty exciting this past week. The primaries took place, and some very interesting results panned out. So the first one I want to talk about is the first race that everybody seemed to have been watching this past week. The gentleman, Abdul El-Sayed, which, before I get into that, the energy at El-Sayed, he told them very quick, and I wish I had the clip pulled up.
Bro.
If you don't know how to say my name,
you better learn
keep it. Keep it. He didn't even tell you to learn it. He said, don't even say it. He said, you can just say Abdullah if you struggle that bad, but keep my name out your mouth. I like the energy. But Abdul El-Sayed is a 41-year-old. He's a physician and a former public health official. He's never held an elective office ever. And this isn't his first attempt at statewide politics. Back in 2018, he ran for governor of Michigan as a progressive candidate and lost that Democratic primary by more than 20 points. Apparently, homeboy went back to the drawing board, learned a few things, which in politics, that's always good, because 8 years later, he's come back running for the United States Senate and beats a sitting member of Congress who had the backing of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, which, shout out to Big Whit. And he was the outgoing Senator Gary Peters and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer. And that what makes this a result that happened in Michigan very fascinating. El-Sayed did sneak through an election nobody cared about with more than 1.5 million votes that were cast in the Democratic Senate primary. He also did it while facing an enormous amount of outside spending. It was reported by the AP that there was more than $60 million in outside money that was spent in this race. He had a very simple message, which we've seen this message essentially happen throughout the country, that I'm not a candidate the Democratic establishment picked. I'm the candidate that you're picking. His campaign was centered around things like universal health care, rejecting corporate donations, and a much more aggressively progressive economic agenda. And Michigan Democratic voters barely chose him. So he barely beat out Stevens, which I believe it was almost by less than 1%.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I remember in the group chat we were talking, I knew that this was a major race because when you send Clyburn from South Carolina up to Michigan,
late in the midnight hour, that was like a scream for send everything.
When he should be in the bed.
First of all, how long was he on that Greyhound to get there?
First of all, why in the midnight hour are you not taking your Metamucil and laying down?
Bro,
I'm sick of them.
Maybe you too old to be in Congress.
Sick of them.
Just maybe. So with that being said, and what we saw as the results in El-Sayed getting a very slim win over Stevens, Chuck, I'll ask you this. What do you think El-Sayed actually proved Tuesday night? Did voters specifically embrace his progressive politics, or are Democratic voters becoming so frustrated with the party establishment that being the establishment candidate is becoming a liability within itself?
Well, first I would like to start off by saying Abdul Rahman Muhammad El-Sayed.
Hey.
Said your whole name, player. So now I'm going to speak on it. This tells me a lot of things, man. First and foremost, the people are fed up. The people are tired. We said it here time and time again. The Democratic Party has fumbled, dropped, spilled, all the adjectives that means turned over, messed up.
Dropped the ball. Dropped the egg.
Dropped the egg, whatever you want it is. The Democratic Party has done that since Obama has left office.
Yeah. And
in this is another sign that the people are tired of it. And I don't want to put so much on him, but Mandami was the precipice of the people saying, all right, I want something different in this Democratic Party. I say that lightly, not as heavy, because New York is New York. Mm-hmm. However, as we saw in other states, he showed support towards people. And even in his state, your status quo, the lip service that you've provided to us with no work, you're going to have to answer for it. And in answering for it, you have candidates like El-Sayed who, like you said before, was not successful, has come back. One thing that he has done, and I noticed this more than anything, was at the rally, he's connected with Obama. There were reports that they had a conversation before.
Yeah.
But you hear it in his tone.
Right.
You hear it in his cadence, in his speech, and that familiarity, that tone. Science shows us that tone, pitch, decibel, all this resonates with the brain. So when you hear it, there's a feeling of familiarity. There's a feeling of comfortability that for some people would be triggering. So when I hear this coming from him, oh, I can trust him. But to my initial point, I also see what they've been doing. We have had mess after mess, and time again, the Democratic Party has been twiddling their thumbs and giving us a bunch of lip service. So at this point, we got somebody talking different. We have someone who is pushing different. We see this big, beautiful bill. We know what's to come. We already start seeing some of the impacts of this big, beautiful bill. Now I have somebody coming around saying, hey, it's a human right that you should have health care. Why would I not give him my attention when large swaths of the country are worried about losing health care? Shoot, health care hasn't been affordable since I've been alive. To be real about it. So I have a candidate who is standing on a principle of this and joining a constituency of individuals who are standing on this same notion that healthcare is a human right, not a rich person right. Not because even if you got health insurance, it's expensive as crap.
But it's still expensive.
It's super expensive. So it's not even about if I could have health insurance, because that's what Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, because I hate calling it Obamacare. They use that as a negative connotation.
Right. You mean Romney Care?
They don't want us to go down that rabbit hole. But in this, if I know that I can have somebody who's going to support me, and I believe that they're going to put foot to action, not just lip service, but put foot to action, why not steer away from it? And I think that's why it was so close, because you do have those who are going to stick to what they know.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But you have a demographic, and also he's 41.
Yeah.
Relatively young in a political space when you got an 86-year-old climber who's coming up to speak against you. You know, so he's young enough to where he can connect with the younger voting population, but he's had enough life experience where he can speak to those who are a bit older and say, hey, I've seen this happen. I've been around for this. I want to help you navigate these next few years of your life to where you can not worry about how I'm going to get my medicine, if I'm going to be able to afford to even keep my routine appointments. Forget the extra appointments. Forget the specialists. Forget, I got to get a referral. The basic maintenance. Can I go get my checkup? Can I go get my annual physical and be able to not have to choose between if I'm going to eat this week or still be able to get to my appointment and pay my copay? That's
real decisions people are
real
looking
life decisions. Exactly. Real decisions. And that's where it's pissing me off, where the establishment, Democratic and Republican, because this is the established Democrats and the Republicans who are trying to put such a negative label on the DSA, Democratic Socialist Agenda, the movement. There's some things about socialism I'm not a fan of. But there's aspects of it where the messaging of what the DSA wants to do, making sure people have basic life abilities, not having to make real life decisions on between healthcare, eating, and taking care of my children. My grandfather taught me two things growing up. There's two things you don't mess with: people, children, and people, money. They speak into both of those. They speak into both of those.
And the crazy thing about that is, I'm with you, Chuck. There are a whole lot of things with the socialist movement that I'm not queued up with. But let's look at the opposite side of the coin. What has the other side given me to be excited about? Like, don't even go outside the Democratic Party. Like, just looking within, what are my options? Like, this or nothing. And one of my good friends, we were talking in 2006, and he said this line that I think is really important. He said, in 2006, he said, Hillary Clinton was a smooth ride in a car in a direction that the country wasn't sure if they really wanted to go down anymore. Mm-hmm. Trump is a ride in a car, and this is a 2016, so context is important here. It is, we know it's going to be a bumpy ride, but we know it's going in a different direction. Not necessarily opposite direction. We just know it's going in a different direction than the direction that Hillary was going in. And I think the Democrats are now looking at that internally when they're looking at their primary voters is, cool, we can go the path of the establishment. I know where this path with Stevens goes.
Yes, comfortability. I know where it's going.
I know exactly where it's going to. I have no questions. I know what's going to happen. But El-Sayed, this is a move in another direction. Do I want to move in that direction? I think for some people that answer is undoubtedly yes. But for your center left Dems, like, this will be where it ends up being real interesting to see what the party does at a whole. I think we're starting to see what the party is doing at a whole because we're seeing these primary results. Mm-hmm. So whether the establishment likes this or not, this is your person. Yep. El-Sayed is now your person. Go ahead and rally behind him.
How are you going to back him? Yep. How are you going to back him?
Yeah. Or choose not, and we can also see how this can play out.
Yeah, and that's perfectly said, Manny, because it cracks me up because you have the term or the notion the far left, and they don't even have DSA labeled as far left. Yeah. It's like they have them at a different plot point on the graph.
And I think the other point when we look at this race, it's not by a lot.
I was just going to say that.
No.
48.47 to 47.52. Like,
but that's also, think about this. And I'll break it in a very relatable level. And that's what I love about our podcast is we try to keep it simple, stupid. Mm-hmm. Just like that. And I break it down to like a relationship. You have done the same thing over and over for so long, and you finally hit that moment when you're fed up. And I'm not just making this about women, men too. You finally fed up, and something different comes along, something that you would not normally pay attention to. And it's why not? Like you said, you haven't given me anything different. So that's truly why I believe things are so close and narrow in the margins, because you have a lot of people at a why not stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
What we've been doing has us in a screwed up situation right now. I have somebody else who's coming along presenting something different. Why not? Because what could be worse than what we are?
That's a good point, Chuck. And that's one thing I was definitely gonna say is definitely a thin margin. When you think of 1.5 million people, and roughly 15,000 votes were the deciding factor. Mm-hmm. Michigan Democrats haven't completely rejected moderates, so it is close. But it's a very interesting thing that Democrats have to pay attention to, because essentially, is that not how we ended up with Donald Trump? Right? You have people that you have an establishment that's saying something, and then you have, just like that comparison, Chuck, which you laid out beautifully. It could be that one thing, and that person comes along, and you're like, you actually listen to me.
Man,
And El-Sayed gives that when the Obama comparisons, it's almost like he went to the school of the school of winning those people by that impression, because that's what Obama did. It was a matter of, we don't know if El-Sayed is going to do what he says he's going to do, but his delivery of saying, hey, somebody's actually listening and trying to do something different. And then you couple that with you seeing Mabdani in New York. I don't know if you guys saw the video that circulated, but he's been gaining a lot of wave over just his response to what people need. There was a kid that made a video and he tagged me, Mabdani in it and was like, hey man, look, there's a pothole here. That's like this pothole big as all get out. Like, why ain't nobody did nothing about it? He was walking on his way to work. On his way back home from work, workers were out there filling that pothole. Results, right? So when you got somebody labeled progressive, and then you have someone who's within that same tent, that same umbrella, and you have people saying, well, I don't like the direction. The establishment hasn't done anything for me, or, you know, they're feeding me a bunch of lies or feeding me a whole lot of promises or empty promises. Why not?
And Jeezy, real quick, man, I know you got an excellent point. I love that you said that they're labeling these guys as progressive because I'm getting stuff done.
And I'm doing my job. Ain't government supposed to be like, bro? How many times have we complained going down a highway like, bro, somebody need to fix this road? Y'all mad that now somebody's actually doing it? Yeah. Like, I'm confused. But you know, with El-Sayed, you know, and you have this movement that they're in a very dangerous position, because what people are starting to see is maybe these people you keep labeling as this seem to be doing something. So maybe should we listen more?
Here's the question. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this develops over the next 4 to 12 years. Because I think we're in this kind of cycle.
Yeah.
Is how do the Michigans of the world react to this? Michigan at its heart is a kind of a purplish state. So what do your center, you know, your center left Dems do? That's the first question the Dems have to answer.
Yeah.
The next question is, what do your center right Republicans do?
Yeah.
Because if you can't get your center right Republicans to move, then you're going to lose this election, which may not be a loss. Like every time you don't get a preferred result doesn't necessarily mean a loss. Because if you're the Dems and you say, let's use the 26 cycle to get people adjusted to this is what this rebranding is, and then a 2028, you actually have a true hard launch. So you use 26 as a year to kind of figure out what is the appetite of the voting public around candidates like this. And I think you try to see what is happening. Chuck, to a point that you added with Mabdani in New York, what I think he has been able to do has been able to put a face on the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because you hear Bernie talk about it, that it's not relatable. The problems are too big.
Because he ain't did nothing.
It's not even ain't do nothing. I think the problems you handle in the Senate are too big.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done any. When I say he hasn't done anything, you're 1,000% correct.
Okay.
The problems that he has that he's approaching are large, and your spot that putting a face to it is a perfect way to describe this. Mondami's face he's become the face by default.
Yeah.
But also he's getting things done. And so that it's the reverse of guilty by association.
Well, I'm not even worried about the getting things done, because he could be trying and failing, and I think it would still have a positive response just because he's attempting and trying.
But it would be impactful.
True. But I think he has humanized what does democratic socialism look like on my day-to-day effort.
I'll give a little pushback on that, humanizing it. Yes, I agree that he has humanized it.
Americanizing it.
That's a better way to do it.
He
Because
has Americanized it.
They've made it seem like an illegal alien, and I hate that phrase, illegal alien. They make it seem like it's terroristic. When they villainize it, they make it seem very. He has Americanized it, and the reason I say it because he's getting things done.
Yeah.
To the point I said earlier, we've gotten so much lip service, and even with Bernie Sanders and the daunting task of trying to get things done in the Senate, Jesus help me, in the Senate, people are results driven. This is America.
Yep.
And in that, I say it all the time. If it's a thought that counts, I need you to think harder because it ain't doing me no good.
No,
I want to see some action behind these thoughts.
Yep.
And so with that, you're right. He's Americanized it because the things that he's getting done, and we talk about these potholes because it's so simple. Like there was a town, and I hate it. I can't remember where it was, where people were so pissed off with reporting about potholes and nothing getting done that they took it upon themselves to go fill them. And then as they were going to fill them, the city was like, "Hey, y'all don't need to be doing this." Well,
then
y'all not doing it.
Then
y'all not doing it, and I'm tired of tearing up my suspension. And I got to replace my struts. At all.
Y'all about to tear the CV joint off the car. Alignment all off.
Exactly. And so if I can, and not even the big things of, universal child care, because to me, that is something of a large task because you're having to reallocate funds from one area to get things done in America. Somebody's going to have to pull something from somewhere. Something's going to be cut short somewhere. So in this, we take the simplest things of filling potholes that I've been driving over for the past 6 years. Forget 6 months, 6 years. Mm-hmm. And in 6 months, you've done a failed sweep of getting this fixed. Although in the grand scheme of it, it's minimal. It's got done. So it definitely has put a face to getting the work done. And I think a lot of these candidates, if they're smart and strategic and they come together, Manny, you've said this time and time again, the problem with the Democrats is they're not coming together with a game plan that works and executing a game plan together. Everybody has their own game plan and their own ideas when you need to have a centralized game plan and then deviate for your area. Gee, I can't talk today, y'all.
Well, you better. Hello.
So like
you've been running them OGs too long, bro.
Way too long. I was about to put myself.
But you can't. The problem is you can't be lazy. Look, if we're gonna,
that's a fact. If we're
gonna be real honest with it, most of the people who are running for office don't have no real reason to be anywhere close to any type of seat of power. Because you're doing it as a vanity project. And when you do this, when you do politics as a vanity project, you're going to miss doing the actual work that's actually important to actually move the needle and move the bar for people. If I'm
like Darlene Graham?
I mean, beyond that, let's start at the top. Donald Trump.
No. Let's give that man his credit. This was not a vanity project. This was a money play.
Fair. if NBC would have paid him that million, NBC and Barack Obama are the two people.
This is a money play.
We know now, bro. We could just you could have ran an ad on TV and just said, "Hey, for $5 or $10, we can stop this from happening." And
Save
would have gladly gave my coins.
Boy,
call Sally Struthers.
I'd have told my daughter, "Daddy, where you going with my piggy bank, baby? Don't worry.
I'm saving your life.
I'm saving your life."
or to show up at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and be like, "Hey, Barack, don't
chill out, bro.
Just let him chill."
Now, Manny, you're right. I think the first term was a vanity project. He got in there and saw how he could make a lot of money and play the game.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, let me run that back.
Hold up now.
Let me run that back.
I only got to move people from this role, this role, this role, this role. I just got to flip 50 votes.
And I was able to talk crazy and move how I wanted to that first time anyway. Oh, I'm gonna go in there and just. He's doing in his second term what I wanted Obama to do in his second term was wield the big stick.
Off.
Do what I want to do. What you gonna do to me?
But in the right way.
But here's the thing.
Yes. Not in the corrupt way.
Trump got in there and saw that, there's a vast of corruption that could be afoot.
Like my reparations.
Rep.
That's what
things we ain't never seen.
You can just chop up some of that land y'all putting these data centers on, and I'll be happy.
Bruh.
I ain't gonna dirty up half the water.
Nah, y'all, we about to get the weaponization. Now that they confirmed Blanche, they about to give us the weaponization fund again. So
I knew we should have went up there January 6th.
I just want everyone to be reminded is that I have been oppressed by this government. Persecuted. And it all started.
I've been buked. I've been scorned.
I've been lied on, cheated. Talked about mistreated. I've been used.
And you know when it all started? And you know when it started? When that Barack Hussein Obama.
Hey, I'm with him. I was with you.
Got in office.
Sleepy Joe.
I can read a fake birth certificate when I see one on TV.
They chat GPT that birth certificate.
Yep, that birth certificate. But I think when you look at what's happened in Michigan, and before I move on, because there's something much bigger than El-Sayed that happened in Michigan. The interesting thing is what you guys have said, that humanizing, right? That Americanizing what Mabdani has done. And now we're seeing, okay, there are people who are lining up with the same idea, right? The same type of direction. And it's only but so much. You have the Republicans who are throwing rocks at it, saying it's bad. Then you have Democrats who are doing the same thing, saying, hey, this is bad. But when you look at the numbers, with 1.5 million, there's a considerable amount of Americans who believe in this or entertain this or want to see how this works. So you can't dismiss that, because essentially when it comes to that ballot box in November in 2028, if you have not handled or found a way to rope that into the party, you're going to do yourself more harm than good.
No, you can dismiss it. Like, again, this is all history.
Yeah,
Democrats can't choose to dismiss it. And then what we are going to watch play out for the next 4 to 12 years is a repeat of the Tea Party on the left. Like this. Republicans ignored the Tea Party. They're like, that'll never do anything. They had, Democrats had the 2012 election, which I think is the election we're seeing like repeat.
Right. Yeah.
I expect. Here's what I expect. I expect these Democrat socialist candidates to do very well. Do I think all of them will win? No, but I think some will win, and I think some will make these far closer. And it's going to be that 2012 election where they're going to look up and Dems are going to look up and they're like, okay, we got to try to do something. But the problem is, in that moment, when Dem leaderships all of a sudden is like, hey, y'all, we got to pivot to this, the Democratic body is not going to trust the current leadership to guide them through this. So we're going to watch Jeffries, we're going to watch that entire leadership group blast it out.
Whoa.
In early 2017. Pause. Yeah,
Jesus
that was. I was trying to emphasize what was getting ready to happen.
Yeah, bro. You did it,
I did, but
you did,
man.
Real quick to that point, and it's something I wanted to find and see how it played out. I pulled up the numbers for the voting in the largest municipal areas between Said and Stevens. And kind of what I expected, even though he's from Detroit, Stevens dominated the Detroit metro suburb areas.
Mm-hmm.
Those established areas. Said El-Sayed, Grand Rapids, he won Kent County with more than 60% of the vote. Warren and Sterling Heights, Stevens won, which is a blue collar established area.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to Ann Arbor, Lansing, and Flint,
the new areas.
And in Ann Arbor, El-Sayed was in Washtenaw County.
They read about him.
They read something.
Y'all know who you're trying to.
They read a Harry Potter book or something. He had over 60% of the vote.
Floyd Mayweather, help.
Bro, that's diabolical. And in peak precincts in Ann Arbor, he cleared 70% of the vote.
Jeez.
In Lansing and Flint, he performed well with younger voters and city residents outside of that immediate Detroit sphere, which I read that to say, and we brought this up on the previous episode, the transitioning of power in the voter.
Mm-hmm.
These areas are a little more liberal, college-educated, younger towns where you have those more established, older areas leaning more toward traditional Democratic, as this shows here in Michigan. And I'm only speaking about Michigan, but you'll see that in other areas. I'm interested to see as we progress and get closer to November and some of the other primaries, how that's going to play out. But it makes sense to me because you have these younger people who are sick of the status quo and in a position of, I am further behind the 8 ball because of the crap that y'all did and putting many roadblocks ahead of me in just the regular Will Smith pursuit of happiness.
Well, and here's where I think if people, our listeners, you guys are trying to understand how this is going to play out. If you look at every major election, don't care about the party, the biggest group of volunteers, a lot of these elections are run on free and volunteer labor.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to watch on the Democratic side how candidates will and will not struggle for volunteers to go out, to knock on the doors, to ring the doorbells, to hand out flyers, to really be these faces on the ground. Like, would the same amount of people come out to support Stevens that are going to come out for El-Sayed? Because that becomes a problem, because now I have to now take that into account from how my campaign is budgeting. Because if I know my volunteer base is not going to be, of necessary size, well, I'm going to now have to pay people. And if I'm now having to pay people for that, well, I either need to raise that money or something else, an ad campaign that I was planning to do or an event that I was getting ready to do is probably not happening.
Yep.
So it's like, some of this happens. So you might have won. Steven, let's say it's inverse. Let's say Stevens won. Cool, Stevens, you won. But where are you getting your help from?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to look to the hills.
From which comes my help.
Hopefully.
So, but I think a lot of these places where you're seeing some people getting knocked off, it's like, where are you going to find your people, or how are you now going to change your message to get some of these people? Where is the message from Stevens of unity? Let's all rally together. Let's come back together and do this. Like, how many people are going to take their ball and go home? How much of this is just a larger realignment across the entire American political system?
Well, the Dems got some looking in the mirror to do. They got some looking in the mirror.
Well, I think
first I got to walk to that mirror, and depending on who it is, it It might take him a little bit.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Michael never talked to the man if he didn't go over to the mirror. You got to get to the mirror, bro. And they got to
Gotta
figure
get
out
there.
something because the night was bigger than El-Sayed, right? He was the big shiny toy that everybody was talking about, but certainly Abdul was not alone. When you look at Michigan's 13th congressional district, state Republican Donavan McKinney defeated the incumbent Congressman Shri Thanedar. If you're not sure of Thanedar, he's the gentleman that has the wig that probably is the only one that can stand up to Trump. Did y'all see Trump got a new wig?
Listen, I said,
got some fluff to it.
Got that fresh top for summertime.
Bruh, they were on threads going crazy over that new hairpiece, boy.
maybe Shire Thanedar hooked them up. Wait, with whoever his connect is. I said, bro,
hey, they said Trump went and saw the Dominicans.
Bro, had to get it right.
He started looking like he was a Thundercat. I was like,
stop, not a Thundercat.
We know he ain't take that trip to Turkey.
He ain't go to Turkey, bro. But I was like,
they said he got a new 27 piece flowing.
Got that 27. Yeah, that 27. Stop right at the neck.
Bro.
Yes.
but the incumbent Thanedar, excuse me, was defeated. By McKinney. McKinney was backed by, again, the Democratic Socialists of America. Thanedar was supported by House Democratic leadership. In the 7th Congressional District, William Lawrence. He's the co-founder of the Surprise Movement and was backed by Bernie Sanders. He was defeated. He defeated more moderate candidates. That one matters because even more strategically, the 7th congressional district is a genuine battleground district, and Lawrence now has to face a Republican incumbent, which is Tom Barrett. So we see now you've got El-Sayed winning statewide. You got McKinney knocking off a Democratic incumbent who is supported by the establishment. You got Lawrence winning the nomination in a swing congressional district. So, Manny, you've kind of already hit to this point. So I'll bring this just around just if you want to talk about it and maybe give any more to what you've already said. But the question was, are we watching the Democratic Party go through its own version of what the Republicans went through with the Tea Party, where you have candidates who once considered too ideological or too risky slowly start replacing the Republican establishment? Because I don't think a lot of people, and maybe some of our listeners may not understand or maybe have the knowledge of knowing how that impact of the Tea Party affected them and what can the Democrats do different to not have a repeat of history on the other side of the aisle.
I think a lot of that is going to be, do they actually want a repeat of history? Like that's going to be the question. Like, is this Democratic Socialist movement, when we talk about it at a national level, so when we say Mamdani, he has localized the problem. What does this look like from a national standpoint? That has not happened yet. But I think now as we get through the primaries and we're getting ready to step into campaign season, how these messages are really set up. The argument to the question there is, how, if you look at Republicans right now, did the Tea Party movement win?
Yeah.
Kinda. Kinda. Maybe a little bit. Like, does the country want any of these Democratic Socialist policies to win? And some of that will be them aligning on ideas, aligning on platform items, talking about what they need to do. Because remember, one of the biggest things that Obama ran into in his first term was his own party not allowing him to do anything. So let's say in a perfect world, all these Democratic Socialist candidates win. Democrats will still be in charge. Will Democrat leadership allow them to do anything? Or will they be stuck down in various committees?
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's why I said, like, if I'm a Republican strategist from a high level, I think there's a couple angles that you have to look at this from. You're obviously looking at it in 2026 midterms. What am I going to do right now? How am I going to guide my candidate through this? But if you're smart and you're a little bit future thinking, you're thinking, hey, how am I going to deal? What is our counter programming to this democratic socialist paradigm? Because the day after the midterms, actually, maybe not even that, October, you have to be starting to prep that, and you got to feed that nonstop from this midterms all the way into 2028. Because now you know what the play is going to be. You see the direction. It is the only direction the Democratic Party has given in any type of way. At least on the Republican side, it was, hey, you were either going to be kind of
Mac almost got you.
Right? Are you going to be a Tea Party Republican, or are you going to be, more mainstream Republican? And that mainstream Republicanism was the fiscal Republican who didn't really care about the social issues. That's what, in a lot of places, is spun out to. What does this spin out to on the Democratic side? And I think that's going to be the biggest question. But this is their Tea Party movement. They should very much be looking back at that cycle and try to figure out what they need to do. Again, another time period where I think it's immensely important for us to look back and be aware of history is the time of the Know Nothings. And the Know Nothings were a group that appeared, they predated the GOP, the Republican Party. But basically what you had is you had one party basically fell apart. And you had another party that wasn't challenged, that could do pretty much whatever it wanted. And it became a period where our party, two-party system, it only works with two parties. It only really works when those two parties are effective. Because during that same know-nothing period, government wasn't effective. It was just one party running around unfettered. So I think those are the two areas that Democrats and Democrat historians need to look back on and say, how do we make sure that we avoid these mistakes? They need to look at this Democratic Socialist playbook and say, what things in this platform are they pushing for that we now want to be our stuff going forward? There's going to be a fantastic argument on the DNC floor next year when they go to change the platform. And that is going to tell you a whole lot heading into 2028.
My brother, I agree with you that the DSA movement is parallel to the Tea Party movement for the Republicans. But there's two roads diverge in a yellow wood. And I chose the one that was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say, I won't say the derailment of the Tea Party, but one of the biggest negative connotations or aspects of the Tea Party is they let their racism show. The foundation of the Tea Party, I agree, fiscally responsible. Let's trim the fat. Let's get the government spending under control. Free market enterprise. But they morphed into tiki torches and being blatant in racism. Whereas with the DSA, I think it could end up being cannibalism, because the racism is not going to come from those in the DSA movement. It's going to come from the mainstream Democrats. And if they cannibalize themselves, because not only is it the Republicans, to the point I made earlier of making the Democratic Socialist movement seem terroristic, there are established Democrats who are tethering that line of trying to make it seem terroristic.
Fetterman?
And I don't even. I mean, by
Hey.
classification, he's a Democrat, but he's not. But there's quiet ones. There's closet ones that are the same way. You cannot tell me, and you cannot convince me opposite of that, because there those who are at the forefront right now are people of color. Yes, Bernie Sanders is one of the mouthpieces of it, but the names that you call, the faces that you see when people talk about it are those of color. And what I can foresee happening if they don't get it under control is the start of infighting and cannibalism, of eating themselves up from the inside, because they turn that into a racial thing and not a philosophical, what's the word I'm looking for? Messaging, like you said.
Well,
what is our message, unified message going forward in the direction that we're going to go in, versus what I'm trying to get it together. Them trying to calm or kill the DSA movement and using that terroristic, racist aspect to kill the movement, versus the sitting down, thinking, and being rational and coming together where we can incorporate some of our aspects with some of your aspects that's going to be most beneficial for us to move forward and unify.
I understand your point. Here's the correction I would do there is that from my standpoint, if you look at the Tea Party movement, it is rooted in Christian nationalism,
Racism.
which at its gate is racism. So I think when you say it's like, hey, they let it show, I don't think they let it show. I think this was part of the show. But
when I say let it show, and we all can attest to this, there was a period of time where we knew people would be racist, but it was a faux pas for you to let it come out.
Sure.
It was
comfortability in the racism.
And even in politics, it wasn't until the Tea Party, like up until like the 80s, we see it in old cartoons and different things. The racism was blatant and in your face. Then as the 90s started to come, there was a shift in what we call politically correct. And so in that, you knew there was prejudice and racism there, but it wasn't a comfortable level to let it show. It wasn't until the Tea Party popped off and there was a couple things that were said, a couple things that were done. Oh, I'm not getting a lot of pushback. Now I'm comfortable. I'm going to let this thing fly. And then that's where, because as we said, that's where the questioning of Barack Obama's birth certificate popped off. That's where people calling him everything but American. That's where, you started seeing this fundamentally, because the Tea Party was the notion of the Tea Party and the fiscal responsibility of the Tea Party was, just how they did in Boston and, fighting back against unfair taxation. That's our mask. But like you said, the Christian nationalist was the face underneath that mask.
Well, and here's the other piece with it. I think that Democrats are going to have to decide, because in that same time period, Republicans decided, they looked at that voting block, looked at the numbers, and said, hey, it is worth us absorbing, to Jeezy, to your point, it is worth us absorbing these parts of their platform into our platform, to win these elections.
Yeah,
racism,
and the acceptance of that, we're now seeing the result of.
Agree.
Democrats
will have. They accepted the racism to a high, and I'm emphasizing the point of racism because I see it. I see it right now with the Democrats.
Yeah.
They are 2 words away from calling Mandami El-Sayed, anything but their names. Yes, you have Trump saying it. You have some Republican side saying it because they're comfortable in that space now. The Tea Party started it. Trump made them comfortable in doing it, and they've been running rampant with it. But you see the established Democrats towing that line. And to your point earlier about the next 4 to 12 years, if you allow it to happen, bye-bye Democratic Party.
The DSA has two decisions they need to make. The first one is figuring out, I think, for them to be a sustainable movement, is first figuring out how much this is going to cost. One of the big scary things that everyone's put up around socialism is like, how much is all this going to cost? How are we going to implement it? How do we avoid government making these decisions for us? The fear campaign of, hey, we need X amount of money to be able to do this, and who that's going to impact. So the figuring out the cost of all these programs and that taxation package, that's the first decision that they're going to need to figure out. The second one is a little bit more frank, and Chuck, is to your point, they need to go find themselves a younger white man to
They have one.
Who?
He's not necessarily DSA, but he ain't far from it.
Nope. They gotta get.
You know who I'm talking about?
No, still don't. No.
Tellerico.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, if he wins Texas, he may not. Because here's what they're gonna have to do. This is to your point of them deciding. Your first point, them deciding how much is it going to cost. There's going to be a level of compromise. There's some things you're going to have to give up on, and then unify.
Wherever that line is, if they can get that line to how it impacts to be high enough, like if they say, hey, this tax structure, everyone who makes over, I actually think the line is about $500,000. If you make more than $500,000 a year, you're not going to be touched. Like they can come out with a plan to cover all their stuff with that type of thing.
Yeah,
done so.
And now to my point, I say Tellerico because there's another name that I have, but I don't want to mention his name because I don't want him to be bothered at all. Leave him alone. He's our jewel in Georgia. Leave him alone. He's our Jew in Georgia.
But see, I think I don't think it's Tellerico. I think he is too on establishment brand. Like they need a, and this goes to the racism thing because I think that's if I'm advising their movement. Everyone that we've seen for the DSA has been female or brown. And I'm taking Bernie Sanders out there because
agreed.
They need for it to be functioning in America.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. And here's why I say Tellerico. Aside from him being vegan,
and you know what, and that's the real problem.
But
in fact, let me go.
I can't trust no man that don't eat bacon.
All right, I'm about to go give $3 to Paxton.
Unless the doctor told you not to.
Unless the doctor told you not to. That's right, Jesus. That's right. But here's what I said. The country fake plays on being on Christian principle. And I say fake plays on it because we know why. We know why. But he is a renowned man of faith. That's one of his sticking points that people revere about him. You say very much establishment. I say he toes the line. He's played in the establishment side, but his beginnings is enough of the working man. I had to, get in the game and earn my stripes to where he can speak to the common person. And then when it comes down to it, Where we wonder in Texas, and as I say, if he wins Texas, if he can pull those in the middle of the road individuals to his side in Texas, being a vegan, that's going to speak volumes. And then they can run that and continue to, if he wins it, they're going to put money behind him.
Yeah.
And then that's going to start the process. And he can be that one to start your unification process and begin to move people to more of a centralized understanding, and where we can have our cake and our ice cream and eat it too. Outside of him, like I said, I got one other name, but I don't want to mention him. I don't see anybody else.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it, and I think your logic is right. I just don't think your logic is right for Texas. Like, I feel like Texas.
But see, I'm going bigger than Texas, though. That's why I say if he wins Texas, he's one that you can present to the country. Tellerico is one that can win Michigan.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If he wins Texas, because he's not a traditional Texas guy.
He's not, which is why I still think he's going to still have issues in Texas.
Oh, but that's why I said if, because if was a fifth, we all be drunk.
Facts. Facts.
That's what I said. If he wins Texas, if we still got a long road to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think bringing this back to Michigan and El-Sayed, of course, he has to go up against Mike Rogers, right? And you've already seen the attack start hurling. I don't know if you guys seen the clip with El-Sayed where he was talking about Rogers. He said,
that was whack. It was so whack.
It was a little whack.
He got to get the game up. I like where he was going, but
I like what he was trying.
He's trying.
Maybe there's some that ain't into the pettiness.
And it's cool. Yeah.
And it's cool. Yeah. It probably hit as a win for them, but yeah, you got to work on that.
Nah, I don't know if it hit because the crowd was a little off too. They were like,
right?
Huh? What
is this? What's going on?
I don't know who wrote that for you, but if you need better material, you need to call the boys here at the podcast. We got you. If you really want to roast and flame somebody up.
Now he did have a nice little snap clap back at Trump.
Oh, bro, that was nice.
That was
a good one. That was a good one. So I was like, okay, all right. He got it in him. Yeah. He's still working on it. It. Oh yeah. Whoa,
pause.
Jeez Louise. So yeah, let me just move on. So, of course, the insults have been starting with Rogers throwing his insults, as well as El-Sayed responding and throwing his insults as well too. So, this is going to be a major challenge for both, and I think primarily for El-Sayed. So I'm wondering, because with the way that he won, right, and the margin he won. November is about convincing independents, moderates, and probably some voters who voted a different way to now come and maybe start to listen or entertain your agenda. So with that and the challenges that we know that he has, because yes, you can take your victory now, enjoy the win that you have, but there's a ton of work that has to be done between now and November. So Chuck, I want to ask you this when it comes to El-Sayed. Do you believe that he'll need to moderate his message for November, or would doing that undermine the exact authenticity that got him through the primary?
No, do not moderate your message. Do not change your message. What needs to happen is the Democratic Party needs to come together. And Manny said it in October. I say on August 15th. but and the reason I say that is you don't want to ruin your authenticity.
Yeah.
However, You need everybody to come together, and you need to have a centralized messaging that we are here to make a difference in your lives. The Republican Party has held the House, the Senate, the White House, and essentially the Supreme Court for X amount of years. We as a Democratic Party are here to make your life real. The Republicans say affordability is a hoax. Well, we know it's not a hoax because you're struggling to pay this. Beef is $10 a pound, and run the litany, and we're not going to give y'all no more game for free. But in this, he stays true, but they bring it has to be a uniform Democratic message. Him by himself is not going to win over the moderates
or the gang of socialists that we see around. It's got to be the establishment.
It has to be the establishment coming together saying, hey, we may have a few differences here and there, but overall, our number one goal is a better way of life for you.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Chuck, I hear what you're saying. It's wrong.
Okay.
It's wrong. I think, Jeezy, you said moderating your message. What I will say is you have to almost normalize it for your crowd. Keep that authenticity, keep your talking points. But you also have to realize you are now no longer talking to a group and a body that is there to cheer for you. So I think it would be a mistake because at the end of it, Michigan is still a purple, blue, red state. So he has got to figure out how to take his message to the red voters there in that state. Because here is the real question in Michigan. What Dem is calling the shots in that election with the overall ticket, the overall theme? Is that coming from Benson in his campaign being the governor, or is that going to come from El-Sayed and his team running for Senate?
Well, I think that's going to be challenging because obviously Benson's results show that the establishment still is strong, right? With the results that she had. So, but you also have this wave again with El-Sayed. I think it's a thin line that's very dangerous because how can I keep my authenticity but still adjust my tone of I guess my messaging of what I'm saying? Because if you're not careful, then those that got you there can say, okay, well, wait a minute.
Yep.
Now you look like a chameleon.
But there's a way to do that in an effective way. If I know that all you guys have ever owned are ducks, then cool. All of my messaging to you about what we're doing about agriculture is going to be duck-based. But if I now know this new group of people only works with chickens, well, now I got to talk about chickens because the duck analogies and the duck stories aren't going to land. So again, this is about knowing your voter base. And again, the electorate is not stupid. They know.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You give them too much credit. Yes, they are.
The electorate knows when a candidate is being genuinely sincere for the most part.
But isn't that what got him this far?
Exactly.
So I guess my thing when it comes to moderating your messaging, I get what you're saying about those that would vote dip, that you have to convince. But how much convincing does he have to do when, to what Chuck has said, the Republicans have ran everything and your life isn't better? And I'm running that we can make life better. How much more adjusting do I have to do? I mean, you don't have to believe me as a candidate. Go out and look at your gas needle. Go drive to your gas station. Go buy some beef. Go get some eggs. Oh, by the way, those got recalled. And if you did afford them, they're high.
Don't eat lettuce.
You can't eat lettuce. Like at what point? And at what point do I have to change my messaging for you to understand that when I'm literally pointing a mirror back to you, showing you your life and saying, is this really the life you want to live? And if you can't see that and I have to change and tailor my message, then to what Chuck just said, could it be that you're stupid? mean,
and to that, when I say Haley Stevens can easily show up at a rally with El-Sayed, and then at this point, that shows the first step in unity.
Yep.
Again,
Chuck, to that point, if I don't know if you saw her message after she realized that she was done, but it was perfect. At least that was the first step in showing there is some unity. At least she at least got it from that. Now, who pulled the plug or put that message and said, "Hey, this is what we need you to say as an establishment"? But I think what she said is the first sign that maybe the establishment is aware and maybe will take a direction of supporting El-Sayed. But I was very impressed with what she said, how she said it, and her tone of what took place in her losing El-Sayed. So I just wanted to say that, Chuck, because I think that might be the first sign. Okay, there may be something there. There may be at least an awareness of what we need to do.
But Michigan's been aware. Like they've been aware. They knew what message they had to follow up this. Like we are just nationally, quote unquote, discovering that Michigan is this close. Michigan has been this close for years now. So they knew where things were trending. So the messaging in the follow up from this is not shocking to me from that standpoint.
And we're talking about Michigan, and I'll say I did take my message more national, or with Michigan in mind and what we're talking about. But overall, it's going to take unity. It's going to take both sides coming together to be on a one accord. Again, even without the DSA, we all don't agree. If I'm running against you, obviously there's something I disagree with that you're on your platform that you're running on versus my platform. However, when it comes down to it, I need to make sure that if I lose to you, I need the team to win overall.
Yeah.
So if the team is not going to win, I benefit the team none by continuing to infight after I've already lost. Let's come together. Let's work together and accomplish the goal, because I'm pretty sure, although we have a main difference on our platform, there's a foundation where we agree.
Yeah. And I think
Chuck, let's work on that. Yeah, you're right. Let's hope so.
and Chuck, I think you said it in a previous episode, but there's always a Jay-Z line for that. And
always.
Jay-Z tells us nobody wins when the family feuds.
He did.
So yeah, I mean, I think they have to figure it out, man. And certainly rally if that is the goal. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens, and when it takes place, because Manny's saying, wait, man, you gave October. Chuck is giving them before the mortgage payment in August is late, considered late on the 15th. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this, and just all around ticket, because Manny made a really great point. Who's pulling the message? Who's leading the message? Is that coming from Benson's camp? With the win that she's had, she's being more established. Is that coming from El-Sayed? Is it coming from someone else?
And Benson can definitely, I agree, Manny. Benson can help the overall movement that they're seeing together.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be the move. And that's all the free game we're gonna give y'all on what y'all need to do.
Facts.
But at any rate, we'll keep an eye on how Michigan pans out as we get later and closer to the midterm. So before we move on, guys, anything else about Michigan? All hearts and minds clear.
I hope the Wolverines and the Spartans and the Red Hawks of Miami, Ohio. Oh, no, never mind.
Did you see that there's a little bit of heat that's coming out of Michigan? Because I guess when they asked the new coach for Michigan, they typically ask, I guess it's his first year, and they ask like, hey, what are your, what are you hoping the team accomplishes this season? And I guess it's tradition that they typically say beat Ohio State.
Beat Ohio State, yeah.
And he didn't mention that, and he took the tone of like something about hate, and we don't have to have this type of hate within a rivalry, and people like.
Oh no, you ain't the man. You ain't the man. You're not the man.
You in the wrong.
Bro, they call it. They say, "Oh yeah, he already messing up already, bro."
Listen, it's death, taxes, and beat Ohio State,
bro. That's it. That's it.
In that order.
And ain't none of us go to
actually. Actually, it's not in that order. It's beat Ohio State, death, and taxes.
So they already got looking at him sideways, like, bro, you ain't the one thing you supposed to say. You didn't say.
I gotta hit my homie up because I have a homie who is a Michigan graduate who played Michigan football, played in the NFL, and his son is currently a wide receiver at Michigan. I gotta hit him up about this because that's crazy.
First year coach ain't talking right, man. The season ain't started yet. And before we move on to, I'll just say this because JD Vance and Trump, and there's been some slurs and offenses that have been thrown about what America would look like if we allow people like Abdul El-Sayed.
I know JD Vance ain't part of his little stupid lips.
Don't he got a newborn he need to be somewhere taken care of?
Changing a diaper or something.
Bruh. But they have been, obviously, I think Trump has posted some AI images of him and his wife beside El-Sayed and his wife. And the thing that just cracks me up, man, and the hypocrisy of it all is that we attack this man for being a Muslim, but y'all cool with Dr. Oz. Like, he ain't no Muslim. Like, this man a whole Muslim, and y'all attack. And the crazy thing is he won't part his lips and say a mumbling word.
Oh, you know he won't.
But we attack. But Dr. Oz is cool. But somehow because I think JD Vance said, God forbid if we have President Abdul El-Sayed in 3 years and all this fear mongering, and it's just crazy, bro. So I just think it's wild how we can attack one and talk about one is so damaging, but another one is supposed to be, such a service to America and America first and all this. It's crazy.
The man was born in America. In Detroit.
Was born in Detroit. Right?
For those who are tried and true Americans, what's more American outside of Philadelphia than Detroit? Home of the automobile.
Bro, home of the automobile, bro. Home of the automobile. I don't get it. But because I guess his
name got a bunch of vowels in it, and he ain't got no.
Move on, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all seen this video. Did y'all see the police officer that had the police chief? There was a ceremony where they were honoring a police officer.
Oh no! I thought you were talking about another police chief who was there when they were fighting.
No. Oh, this was like a ceremony. I don't know if this was a funeral or what, or a visual. I don't know what it was, but they were honoring a police officer that had fallen, and when he said his name, it was a Muslim name, right?
Oh,
and people in the crowd started booing.
I saw the headline. Bruh. I didn't see the clip.
And the guy with the chief or whatever was like, "Whoa, like this is a fallen soldier. Like, we're trying to have a moment of silence," and they booed because he had.
Oh wow!
To what you said about that racism, man.
I saw the I guess it's the headline for the video, the caption. It was saying, crowd boos off fallen officer.
Yes.
I didn't watch the video though. That's like, nasty work.
It caught him off guard that he had to be like, "Oh, whoa, we not doing that. Like, this is a fallen officer. Like, are we really doing this right now?" And they only booed because of his name.
Because his name. But it's back to blue.
Bro.
It's back to blue. Unless the blue ain't named like you.
Bro. Wow.
That's it. Like, and he was, so I just watched the clip. He was like asking for a moment of silence for this.
This is America, bro.
Nasty.
This is America.
But this is also like, you're going up in front of a Trump crowd.
But I thought, it's back to blue though.
But I told y'all, it's back to blue until they don't.
Bro, it's crazy. You got to be the right type of blue.
Yeah, but no. It's back to blue until they say something to you. Because remember, I told you at the that failed carnival circus, whatever it was, the America 250, when it was white officers telling them that they need to leave. And they were bucking up against it. Hell, January 6th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
January 6th.
Bruh. Wow. I don't understand.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm sorry. What is this guy's name?
Who, the officer that fell?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It won't
What is his
crazy.
And he is. I've seen the picture of him. He is Caucasian passing.
It don't matter. They heard that name.
They heard that name.
They heard that name. You first of all, who goes to a service that is remembering a fallen officer?
Well, it doesn't look like it was a service for a fallen officer. It looks like it was a Trump rally, and they decided to bring this up.
Oh, okay, got you. Well,
But still,
go either way.
But still,
but he, if I'm not mistaken, he mentioned that this was a fallen officer.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so either they didn't listen, they were already too drunk from the pregame for the rally, or they really just that racist, which could be all three. So, bro, yeah. Well, that is our segment of Michigan. And speaking of Trump, we're gonna move right along to
again.
Bro.
Oh, yes. Before you move on,
El-Sayed said, "Hey, bro, look,
hey, don't talk. Hey, bro, I'm a piece, but you leaving pieces."
Yeah, he said, "Hey, look, I might not be ish, but at least I don't issue myself in the middle of the Oval Office." And walked off. First of all, hey, that reporter, look, he kept telling him, "Hey, look, man, I ain't trying to talk to interview. I ain't trying to talk right
BBC,
now."
BBC was persistent, though, boy.
Hey, he said, "Hey, look,
Mr. El-Sayed, just a moment now.
I thought he was about to have I don't know if y'all see that video, that viral video about that guy, Dr. Newsom, that pushed that reporter in the face. It's an old clip, bro. It was some
Oh,
guy.
Yeah.
And he get back. Get back.
I told you.
I thought that's what El-Sayed was about to do, but
his campaign would have been over,
bro. He composed himself well. But speaking of composure, I noticed a theme with Trump this week, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm gonna call this segment Trump's Tantrums. I had a couple of tantrums this week. Apparently, the hardest word for the president of the United States to hear is the same word that bothers a 3-year-old, and that word is no. So he got told no on a few things, and he was pretty pissed off about it. So the first one was earlier this summer. The Supreme Court struck down Trump's attempt to end automatic birthright citizenship for children born in the United States to undocumented parents. Right? We all know that the underlying constitutional issue is the 14th Amendment, which begins that all persons born or naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. But this week, Trump, as you know, he gonna spin the block on something. He get pissed off, he got to spin the block on it. So the first tantrum he had was this week. He returned to the issue with a new executive order aimed at narrowing birthright citizenship, including restrictions involving so-called, which is wild to me, birth tourism is what he's calling it. I guess you come see the city, have a baby. And that baby becomes a citizen.
The city's on fire.
This is technically a thing,
bro. It's just wild, the name of it, bro. Birth tourism, but that's important because it isn't simply Trump saying I disagree with the Supreme Court. The president disagrees with the Supreme Court decisions all the time. That's not unusual. The question is whether the administration has found a legally distinct policy that complies with the ruling, or whether it's essentially trying to accomplish through a narrow executive order what the court already said the president cannot accomplish broadly. So I'm gonna ask you this, Manny. Do you see this as Trump legitimately testing what authority the president still has after losing to the Supreme Court? Or is it basically him saying, I've heard what the Supreme Court said, and I'm going to keep trying until I get the answer that I want?
Oh, it's the second one. I was just
B.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Try again.
You know,
keep trying.
What? Oh God, what is it saying? They're they're saying, hey, doing something over and over again is called persistence, but in some cases is also called stupidity. So in this case, I think it is just persistent. I think the Supreme Court has been very clear in their ruling on this. So I think where this is different than I think what we've seen from other rulings is you see Trump saying, I don't like it. and then it's just done because there's nothing you can do. I think this is interesting that he's yelled, "I don't like it," and has tried something else. So it'll be interesting to see what the Supreme Court does, because we know where this is going.
Yeah.
Like, let's almost at this point, let's just skip all of the things now.
Yeah, and just take it to the top.
We already know where it's going. So now what'll be interesting is after this gets tried in court, whether they put a stay on it, because I think the Supreme Court is done with their caseload for this year. So, or they might have a fall session that's getting ready to start. So they're at least done with the first part of the session to see if they put some type of stay on either of these executive orders. But look, man, it is likely not going to pass. And if it's going to pass, it's going to take some level of new precedent or overriding precedent to be able to do it. Is birth tourism a thing? Yes, it is a thing. Is voter fraud a thing? Yes. Do either of these two things happen in numbers large enough that we should be devoting U.S. resources in the way that we are? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yeah. So we'll see what the Supreme Court does.
To Manny's point, is it a thing? Yes. Here's the numbers. And the wide range in the numbers is what's insane. Roughly 5,000 to 26,000 births annually.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that range.
What y'all get these numbers from, bro?
That range is wild. But
have you ever noticed
that all small fraction?
Have you always noticed that all his numbers have that same kind of range? It's
that wide range.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you cast a net and it has a hole in it, you might catch a fish. They might escape out. We don't know.
These are concepts of numbers, bro.
Yes. So, but even if we took those numbers that they give us, how many births do we have a year?
To be doing all it. So if you're here for birth tourism, that's telling me you're coming here, you're getting visa status.
Yep. Visa status, yep.
And you're leaving. You're not staying. You're not even of the group of people that he's angry at.
Right.
That too. That too, Manny. You're right.
This whole thing just ain't the obsession with this immigration thing has gotten out of hand. And it's target. I don't know if you saw the video of this this white gentleman this past week, but he was crying because he's lost his fiance, soon to be wife or whatever.
And he voted for Trump.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And while I don't wish hurt on nobody. I don't. But
if it isn't the consequences of our own actions.
if at one moment I didn't want to sit there and be behind that camera just to say, cause what you expect? And every one of them have the same thing. He told me he was going after the criminals.
Yeah. Sir. Yeah, and your wife and your fiance was your wife illegally
is a criminal.
Is a criminal.
Well, don't necessarily mean she was here illegally.
You see, that's the thing. She could have been waiting for the process of the papers.
Yeah. Or you seen that the chef in Miami,
the Haitian,
Haitian, yeah,
shut him down, bro. Shut him down. He said the Americans don't want to work.
They were there on that program.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They were on that program.
They killed that program and said, y'all got to get out of here.
Yeah, I got to go.
Business gone. And there was a report that came out this past week. Said agriculture, construction. It's looking bad, bro. They ain't got nobody, man. Everybody gone. They either gone or they hiding because they scared.
Oh, they hiding for sure.
Oh,
they are hiding.
Yeah, they hiding. Except for when the World Cup was on. they were picking up them.
They were out.
They were out.
Going to Walmart, going to them gas stations, getting them the 16 or 24 cases. Oh, they was out, jerseys on, everything since the World Cup ended.
Back in.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Back inside.
Winter's here.
Have y'all seen? And this is not an ad. I just saw it last night on Netflix. The Last House. Oh, watch it. Watch it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The Last House.
The Last House. I think it's Last House.
Man,
watch it. It is kind of to that reference. One day, all of a sudden, everybody was stuck in their house and could not get out.
COVID.
No, because here in Atlanta, people was out.
I want COVID in Atlanta.
I wasn't stuck in the house. I had to work every day outside. Leave, go, no. But but like it's like an alien. I can give the plot away too much, but it's like an alien force that's keeping people from getting out of their house. They're trying to go out but can't get out, and that's what.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie.
I didn't know if it was like a series.
So
or something.
No. It's a movie. You can't get nothing.
Dang.
Nobody can get in. Nobody can get out. People stuck in their house. If you ain't got no food, guess what? Peace be the journey. But it's interesting, pretty good. But I just thought about that. World Cup is over.
Hey,
them folks is in their house, in the last house.
Well, this obsession with birthright citizenship wasn't the only tantrum that Trump had. He brought up another one that I still don't understand. Trump renewed his attempt this week to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Now, bruh,
she must have said that she hated Trump stuck in.
I just want to know. Let's just go there. Why does this black woman in this one role bother you so bad?
So much.
And maybe I've already said why I bother you.
I'm about to say, but you just said it in the beginning. 2 letters.
Bruh. It's just
tell them no.
It's just like with Letitia James. Like, it bothers him so, but he brought that back up this week. And he's trying to, again, she, in her case, went all the way, if I'm not mistaken, to the Supreme Court, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Supreme Court said, hey, bro,
leave it alone.
Don't touch him. But guess what? That don't mean nothing to Donnie T.
I haven't figured out. Manny, you got your hat ready?
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Yes, indeed.
It's not about a good sister Cook. The Fed kept the rates the same for the 5th consecutive cycle.
What?
And three people voted to raise it.
Yes.
What?
But
it's almost as if the economy's not in that great of shape.
My brother is on the ball with me. And not just that. I can't throw my guy,
bruh,
my new guy, because the previous guy was my guy.
Yeah,
he wasn't my guy.
I
can't throw my new guy under the bus.
Nope.
Yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's too early.
He usually lets he at least got to get through the first 90 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if I can't throw my new guy under the bus yet, they haven't lowered rates. Like Manny said, 3 of them voted to raise rates. The economy is in a stinker, but I'm telling you, affordability is a hoax. We're doing great. Stock market is up. We've annihilated and obliterated Iran. The Strait is open.
Bruh.
Who else do I have to go after? Oh, we just said he's a spin the block king. Let me circle back around.
Right.
3 less make a right. I'm just
but it's wild because it don't even make sense. Like
it don't.
I really want to. I really would love sometimes to have somebody that is a strong MAGA supporter of Trump on the pod and just ask them, bro. This is a safe space. Trump don't even listen to this pod.
We don't think
we don't think at least. You really be buying this stuff? Like, are you really believe this stuff?
What I never remember their Instagram, but there's an Instagram of these two white guys, a tall one and a short, stumpy one, and they go
Oh
to the different
yeah.
rallies.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
And these folks really,
some of them, bro.
like, really
They,
be,
yeah,
they really buy it. They sip the Kool-Aid.
bro. One dude in one of the videos said that Barack Obama needs to be held for treason for what he did during
See,
COVID-19.
On not oh
No,
oh,
no.
Oh, there was one about 9/11
I heard
too.
the 9/11 one.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh no, it might have been 9/11. It might have been 9/11. And
But no, there was one that said COVID-19 too. They both have said, people have said
they
for
said,
both.
Both are
what do you
applicable.
think he was doing? Probably on vacation somewhere on a beach somewhere. The man
Spending
won't,
taxpayer money.
the man won't even president.
Bro.
Like, and that ain't
And then-
information that you can look that up and see that the president, bro. Where did you ever see Barack Obama talk to the nation about 9/11? The infamous clip of George Bush being told while he was reading to school kids, like, bro, where did you see?
Listen. Or
On Facebook, man. On Facebook.
You're right.
Facebook a sick place, bro.
Sick
They
place.
need to abolish Facebook, bro. They need to shut it down.
Or,
We were proper
or
people
the-
when you had to have a college email address to get on Facebook, bro. When they
.edu.
opened it to the public, that's what happened.
Went down. And then there was one that was blaming Joe Biden for January 6th.
I mean,
I liked it. Like, bruh.
Yeah. Bro,
So to your question, yeah, they be buying it.
boy, that's just at that point you just living in sin. Just living in sin, bro. To be nowhere in the Bible we talk about someone just be the false prophets and
The false doctrine.
all that. Ain't no sound doctrine no more, bro. We just living.
No.
we're just out here doing stuff.
So man, Trump,
Oh,
you
man.
gotta leave Lisa alone, man. Lisa ain't did nothing to nobody. The Supreme Court already told you to leave her alone. Leave her alone. It's crazy that instead of fixing stuff, you just blame stuff. You know, it's a lot easier to say, "Hey, I'm wrong. I was
Let's
wrong,
play the
guys."
blame
bro.
game.
It's just so much easier, bro. I was wrong, but you got to blame somebody, bro. Well, he gonna have something else. Well, the last tantrum he had, which I don't know if you guys have seen the latest pictures coming out of Washington, but it don't look good. It look very antique store, thrift, very trashy. I don't know if y'all saw he repainted it. He repainted some stuff with that gold spray that just looked very Dollar General-ish.
Well, I heard the new helipad ain't helipading like they needed to, so they gotta start
Right.
that over.
The lawn is tore slam up from the UFC event, so the grass looked terrible. He still sweared up and down that the whole reflection pool thing that somebody slammed. And
do you know the new thing?
What?
Now he's claiming that he don't really know the guy or the company who was
That did
who
the
was
thing.
hired, who did the work,
See, but he got that money though.
and the charges were dropped against the.
Yeah, you already
Oh,
saw he
boy.
about to call for her head.
Hey,
She dropped them charges. He was not happy about that.
she ain't had no choice.
He did,
What?
bro. You told me
I can't prove it. I literally cannot prove
I
the
cannot,
thing.
President. I cannot prove it. I can't. You can't just tell me to just charge somebody with something they didn't do.
And then there was a report that the national park folks came out and said that the area where we're seeing damage, nobody would swim out there. Nobody.
Trump just be
What
lying.
you trying to create the new Swamp Man 2026?
You weren't concerned about damaging when it was empty. You
When you-
decided to take your motorcade and drive through it. Like, bro,
Right.
why you driving through the reflection pool, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? Is you dumb?
Let's talk about that for a second. As the driver,
Yeah.
you sitting there mumbling under your breath the utmost harshest of cuss words. Why you got me driving through
Why
this
you got me
crap?
driving through this?
Why?
It just got painted. It's tire. They said when they drained it with tire treads all underneath it on the
All
paint, bro. So that let me know you ain't even let the job even dry. You ain't
no.
let it sit and settle or nothing. You just went out there.
Immediately.
You could have
Hey.
just got out the car and looked
And
over
look.
into it. Because I know you ain't see it good enough driving through it.
Heck no. You right on top of it.
Right.
Hey, you know that remind me of him driving on it. Remind me of when we were kids, somebody was baking a cake and they told you to stay, don't go in the kitchen because you're gonna make it fall.
Don't slam no doors. Don't go
slam
in that
no
kitchen.
doors.
Don't walk
Don't go
hard. Because if you make my cake fall,
I'm gonna be pissed.
boy, grandma get you quick, bro. Everybody be sitting there crisscross.
Everybody
Quiet.
You be scared to talk. You think you talk too loud, it might drop the cake. Right. So he already messed it up. But his last tantrum he had, y'all, and this is why I said I don't know if you've seen the ball, if you've seen what the White House looks like now. That ballroom.
Down bad.
As Charles Barkley would say, terrible.
The $1 billion baby.
Bro. Trump wants a roughly 90,000 square foot ballroom built on the site where he demolished. It's gone. The East Wing gone, y'all. He wants to build this big old ballroom. The project has basically ballooned to about $400 million as of right now, which that's probably going to double. But I don't know if y'all seen the clip with the reporter, but she said, so, sir, you said it cost one thing and you doubled it, so isn't going to double it in size? He called her a dummy. He said, what do you mean, you dummy? Sir, if it costs $200 million, if double it in size, wouldn't that be doubling the price of what it would cost? Call her a dummy.
If little Timmy has 4 apples and I give you 4 more apples.
Now, you already know Trump's arguing that private donors are paying for the project.
Yes, private donors are paying for it. He don't know all the names of the American citizens.
Right.
But they paying for it.
Our names are private.
Bro. Well, on the 7th of August in the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, by a 2-1 decision, they said, Donnie T, you got to stop that construction. You got to stop the above ground construction. Of course, hot. Trump gets pissed off. He first starts saying, well, these judges that were appointed by Biden and Obama.
Of course.
Bro,
because who else? Who would be up to spoil Donnie T's fun?
Well, he said that this was the reason that this was just a terrible decision was because this was a national security threat. Now, you may be saying to yourself, listeners, how in the world is this a national security threat to have a ballroom to dance and be festive and be merry and all of us to be patriots? Well, I wouldn't say all of us because ain't none of us going to probably get in there. But
Speak for
how
yourselves.
is that a national security
I'm going to be
threat?
in there.
I'm
going to be in there.
At this point,
as much as my taxpayer dollars don't went to that ballroom,
they might as well turn it. At this point, they might as well turn it to a community pool, bro. Turn to a community pool, bro. Put a water slide. You can go.
Splash pad.
Yeah, splash pad, everything, bro. Well, Trump said it's a national security threat. And the reason why he's saying that because part of what Trump has presented in imagery in his chat GPT, I know the images Trump be creating me wild, bro. He probably create pictures of him like looking like give me Derrick Henry's body, but in my complexion. Can you make who looks better? Give me a side by side of me and Gavin Newsom. Who has the better body? Trump doing some wild stuff, bro. It's very alternative things.
I can see him now telling AI to put his face on Aaron Judge,
bro. Nasty work. Nasty work. That's how he found out what kind of that's where he got that new wig from. ChatGPT. 3D print gave him the
3D printed it.
3D printed.
Kind of fresh.
Man, it was at SLA.
So Trump posted and said the reason why this was a national security threat was because part of the ballroom is a fortified drone port, which he argues the project isn't merely a ballroom, but part of protecting the White House and future presidents. Bro.
Well, that changes everything.
Well, here's the thing.
Why do we need a drone port?
That's what I was going to ask. There's already security measures on the grounds on top of the White House to protect the White House.
The White House is possibly, I would say, the second most secure place in America. No, not second. It's top 5. First being like Fort Knox, Area 51.
Yeah, Area 51. Boy.
Adding a couple other military installations, and then the White House.
I think the problem is Trump happened to see the movie Olympus Has Fallen.
Or the other one.
Or White House Down.
White House Down, yeah.
And
You're
said,
right.
this can't happen to me.
Not me.
Or he saw Independence Day and saw the aliens blow up the White House.
Definitely saw Independence
That's what
Day.
it was. Yep.
That explains.
Now he's scared.
Yep.
Now he's scared.
That explains why they dropped some more UFO stuff this past week. And he was watching Independence Day and said, nah, not on my watch.
Willard Smith, if you don't get over to 1600 in Pennsylvania Avenue.
Which is wild because if an alien strike come on the White House, brother, I'm going to tell you right now, that drone port don't stand a chance.
Not a single chance.
Before they get the first, brother,
Bro.
you ain't going to be able to do that with
Oh, man.
But seriously, this White House ballroom project is an utter disaster.
But like, wait a second. If there was a drone port on top of the White House, wouldn't that be classified? I mean,
hey, brother.
I guess
hey,
it
brother.
was.
Hey.
All right.
I mean, this is a continuation of a continuation of providing classified information to everybody who's sitting around you. Just a continuation,
bro. All of these tantrums are just terrible.
Very terrible.
And instead of throwing a tantrum about why gas is the height that it is, I don't know if you saw that he tried to throw. I don't like Exxon, Chevron. I don't like
too much.
You're making too much
profit.
money. Too much money. You stop it. No, don't do that.
Broken clock twice a day,
which is true. But don't act like you ain't profited either.
Preach, preacher.
I mean, hey, don't call my pocket like your pocket ain't fat either.
But how you gonna call out Exxon and Chevron when you ran up in Venezuela and said, "Hey, my boys Chevron and Exxon gonna come in here and make a ton of money."
Chevron said, "Hey, look, we
don't want none of their problems. I'm doing good over here. I don't want that block."
Hey, bro, we got a little man in you to run and say, "Hey, I went and secured this block for you." We don't want that. We not even over in that neighborhood, bro. You did that for nothing. But instead of having tantrums about affordability, price of gas, beef, utilities, everyday situations that actually impact Americans, you worried about a ballroom, you worried about Lisa Cook, and all these other things, instead of worrying about the true problem. So if you have a tantrum, have it about something that we actually care about. Because none of these things are doing anything for us, bro. You worried about the wrong thing. My grandma used to say it all the time. You worried about the wrong thing. They ain't got nothing to do with They ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Bro. Or it does. Maybe. I don't know.
It does. At this stage.
At this point.
Yeah. But yeah, Trump had his tantrums, which I'm sure are going to be coming up a lot more. You know, when the older people get, the more irritable they get.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy!
And he already up there in age, and compared to whatever Trump says, things aren't going well.
They're down,
and they're not up.
They're not up,
and they're down bad, and more down.
And at this point, he's running out of things to pitch his hat on. And at some point, you got to face the music. And
we hear them saxophones.
Woo! They starting to warm up, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the conclusion of Trump's tantrums. Stop being a 2-year-old. Stop being a 3-year-old. Be a grown man. Lead this country.
Well, you know they say that the life cycle. You start as a baby.
Hey, bro.
You go through life, and as you get older, you revert back to them baby ways.
That's why I keep trying
The
to tell
baby
y'all
natures.
it's
Yeah.
dementia Donnie.
Yes, sir.
It's dementia Donnie. But at any
Hey,
rate,
real quick before we go, speaking of dementia Donnie and the baby ways, y'all see that clip? And some of these I question the validity of them, but he was asleep, and then they said he woke himself up by letting one loose.
Bruh.
I was
that's
too
wild.
weak, man. I was too weak, but he was knocked out. I was talking. You know how he
probably
get
have
when
some
he
good
go.
sleep, bro.
He'd be like
When
elite
when that
sleep.
face get that one side lean, oh, he in there. He in, I don't know what stage of that sleep process he in, but he in one of them deep. He in one of them deep sleeps, right?
That knockness monster has pulled up and said,
Hey,
That's a fact.
that saying on his shoulders heavy, boy. He be go to sleep, Donnie. But we already talked about that. That dementia keep him up at night, bro. He get to wander in the halls, the corridors of the White House.
We know one area he's not at though.
In Melania room.
At all.
definitely not.
Melania said, I ain't worried about all that wonder. I got my own wondering going on in here. Hello.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, that brings us, guys, to that point of our episode, which is the pickle of the week.
When I get us all into the biggest pickle any of us had ever seen.
All right. We got pretty interesting pickle, and I guess it's tied to Donnie T. But this week's pickle of the week is going to be the U.S. military. And more specifically,
oh man, the military.
Yeah, I gotta put the military. Now, I love our troops, and given the circumstance, I feel for y'all. I can't imagine what you're going through with the incompetent leadership that you have. But I guess you gotta do the best with what you have, and I guess your training prepares you for stuff like this. So, good luck. But the U.S. military, more specifically, the Pentagon's war planning and weapons supply chain, y'all in that jar. Now, before anybody twists this up, I'm not talking about the men and women that serve in our uniform. So again, respect, tons of respect for those that serve and what you do and the sacrifices that you make for the name of freedom and being American patriots. But 5 months into this war that we let our cousin pull us into with Iran.
They cousin. It ain't my cousin. That's their cousin.
That's y'all folk. All skin folks ain't kin folk.
That's that cousin by marriage.
Yeah.
I ain't choose you. Your mama chose my cousin. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
And I just deal with you.
Yeah.
But the Pentagon is now pushing defense contractors to dramatically accelerate weapons productions because some of America's most important munitions are being depleted. What?
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
The supplies are low. And apparently the situation is serious enough that the Deputy Defense Secretary has reportedly given weapon manufacturers 21 days to come back with plans for increasing production. Bro, 21 days.
They said, figure it out.
So
they said you don't even break habits in 21 days.
It take at least maybe 21 days to break a habit.
Bro.
He said, "Nah, I need y'all come back.
Answers.
I need answers expeditiously." So we can spend decades preparing for the possibility of fighting China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, apparently anybody with the flag. But 5 months into one major war, we're calling up and saying, "Hey, y'all got any more of them missiles back there?" Hey, what you y'all got anything?
We're just asking for a friend.
Hey, bro, you ever go somewhere and be like, "Hey, y'all got this size in the back?"
Yeah.
No, we got everything we got played out on the shelf.
Dang.
Bro, why the Pentagon really said, "Hey, look, y'all got any of those left back there? Any more that we can have?" But that's why they deserve to be a pickle, man. This isn't just about having enough bombs to continue fighting around. The United States has military commitments all over the world. We got troops and allies in Europe concerned about Russia. We have Taiwan in the Pacific with China looming in the background. We have South Korea and Japan watching North Korea. And we still have instability throughout the Middle East. Meanwhile, Iran's war alone has reportedly cost the United States, guess what, folks? $37.5 billion.
Billy.
Billion.
$37.5 billion. And just a couple of weeks ago, you had Pete Hegseth going up to Congress asking for what? More money.
More money.
And we already have, which has been reported, but we don't know if this is true, 18 American service members killed so far. Some have argued that
14 according to them.
See?
Per the officially reported numbers.
Yes. Like, I know this is the pickle, and I don't want to hijack it, but that's something that pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
You take these young people's names, and one of them was a soldier out of Fort Bragg, and I saw the clip of his wife meeting his flag-draped casket as he arrived back to Fort Bragg with little kids. Take these people's names off because you said you were in a ceasefire, but you were still shooting at the people.
Wow, bro.
And they died from retaliation strikes at bases in other countries. The disrespect.
Pure disrespect, bro.
The disrespect to take these people's names out and say they did not die in war combat because it was in the middle of a ceasefire is utterly disrespectful.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. But that burns me up.
This is what our leadership is doing, and only 35% of Americans support this war. So, and that number
and falling,
yes, and that number and to that 35 that's supporting it, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'all.
Stupid, just dumb.
Go like my brother Chuck said, pure T stupid. You supporting something and look at what's happening. But there's a bigger issue than just where we're at with Iran. What happened is something else pops off. The block is hot, and when the block get hot,
is it an if? Is it an if or is it a when?
Manny, great point, bro. If or when?
Yeah.
So what happens when Russia starts? There's already been rumors that Russia's looking at causing a NATO-like type of activity to go on where the U.S. may have to intervene into some things and something may pop off. Our allies look at us and say, hey, look, you got us? Hey, man, I ain't got myself, bro.
What is?
I ain't got myself.
That's a fact.
What does this all mean for the new Middle East style NATO?
Oh, yeah.
That's popped up.
Bro. But the thing in all of this, man, is that you can have the greatest weapon system ever created. But if you burn through the interceptors it needs, you've just got a very expensive lawn ornament. I mean, what does that mean? Maybe this war has exposed something America needs to see. Our ability to start or sustain conflicts may be moving faster than our industrial base can replenish the weapons required to fight them. That's a dangerous lesson. That's a dangerous lesson to learn while you're already at war. So, congratulations to the Pentagon and America's military procurement machine. You've managed to turn the world's largest military budget into a geopolitical equivalent of realizing you're out of toilet paper after you've already sat down. That's a terrible position to be in.
Yeah.
sitting on that porcelain and you realize you ain't got what you need.
Hey, can somebody bring me some Tasha?
And don't be home alone.
Oh my God. You better hop in this.
Bro. So, the U.S. military establishment, welcome to the pickle of the week, because that's a terrible position to be in. And heaven forbid anything else pop off. It's only but so much. And again, accountability. Bro, y'all got to stop lying to people. Stop lying. You got people out here, 250, America. America's the greatest. America's great. But when you ran by these idiots.
That's it right there. That's it. That's it right there.
Hey, you can give somebody a very nice car, and if they don't know how to maintain it, they'll run that mud down in the ground.
Y'all know I ain't got no business with a Lamborghini.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
None.
At all. You don't have any business with a Mercedes S550.
Bro.
Nope.
The keys to the Lamborghini was handed to this weapons department. and they driving it like it's a Toyota.
Like a Ford Taurus.
Bruh.
Sometimes your capacity. Sometimes your capacity is a Honda, and you got to be okay with that. Like, you know what? This is where my level stops.
Everybody don't need the V8 or the V12 because they don't know how to handle it. And clearly,
you just driving 5 miles down the road for work. Like, you're not going across.
Why you got it wide open?
Bro, this is like somebody giving your grandma saying, hey, I'm going to go talk to the dealership. I just want to get me a little something to drive. And they sell your grandma a Tahoe. Four-wheel drive.
Your grandma come back with a Shelby Mustang.
Like, what? Grandma, what you
your grandma got a RAV4, bro, a souped up, bro, F350. Double wheels in the back.
Dual cam.
They said it's good for snow. Grandma, you live in Florida.
Your grandma got all-wheel drive going, and she trying to understand why she can't get that car to stop, right? Grandma, you ain't got the foot power to hit that brake. I'm sorry, baby. You need to carry that back and tell them to give you a Kia. Grandma, you need a Kia. You need a Toyota.
Oh, man. You need a Honda HRV. You need a Honda HRV. You over here driving a dually.
Hey, they got grandma with a V8. She put that bug on that pedal.
Snatch your wig off.
They wonder why grandma pulling Bible study. She flinging up gravel when she pulling the church parking lot. Gotta get used to that V8 in that motherfucker.
Hey, she leave church and everybody windshield cracked up.
She tearing everybody's car, flinging rocks everywhere, bro. She peeling out of church. She leaving every Sunday drifting. Like it's an emergency. I seen the way you pulled out of church. Everything all right? Yeah, I'm just trying to get used to this V8. Just like my grandson supposed to come on later on and help me get used to it.
Why grandma got a Hellcat with a scat pack?
Yo.
Oh man,
them dealerships be doing them old folk wrong, bro.
Right, she don't need all that.
Grandma can't go buy a car, and grandma can't go get her cell phone done, bro. Grandma got a prepaid phone. She come back with an iPhone 17.
No, grandma come back with a Samsung. Then she come back with a Samsung Z Flip phone.
New Samsung watch and an iPad, bro. Grandma, them dealers, bro. I work in sales, bro, and I used to get so mad people do the old folks like that, bro. Stop doing them old folks like that,
robbing them straight blind.
Straight blind. She get that first check. She wonder why her bill, bro, $385, man. Grandma went for putting $20 on that phone every month. Now grandma credit done got shot.
That remind me. I used to work at the phone company, boy, getting them phone calls. There's people, I don't went in that store and they done changed my stuff up. Oh, now Lord. My bill $300. It used to be $75.
Man, grandma come off that prepaid to that contract and be like, what is this? Hotspot. Hotspot.
Get me back.
What I need a hotspot for? I got an electric blanket in the house for that.
I was going to say something else, but I'm glad you said electric blanket.
Hey. Yo, that's what happened.
Hotspot been cold for a long time. I don't need no hotspot,
bro. I got the sweats. I don't need.
It's already hot in here.
It's all right.
I'm going through the pause.
Yo, bro, that's what happened when you got people got stuff that they don't need to have their hands on.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So bad. Oh, bro. Oh, that was good.
All right.
We've reached that point of our episode where we bring you guys the spotlight of the week. So I'm gonna go to my brother Manny. Manny, what's your spotlight for the week?
Man, well, adding to the list of things that people are up in arms about, flock people.
Oh, hey, bro.
Flock people real upset. So. Yes. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Flock Safety, it is a company that basically sells automated license plates readers.
Allegedly.
Yes. Basically what it does is scans a car, it locks its plate, color, make, model, bumper stickers and then uploaded to a searchable AI database, pretty much. That then specific agencies that have contracted with Flock can then query. So it is sold as a tool, sold and marketed as a tool to help finding missing people, recover stolen cars, and at this point, it is probably one of the most largely debated policing technologies in America at this point. And then doesn't preclude North Carolina. On July 7th, when Josh Stein signed the budget, there was a 3-year State Bureau of Investigation camera pilot that is essentially going to open up 78% of the state's roads. So Flock has been, getting a lot of feedback across the country, all going back to that database and then being able to track and look up people. And it then again draws this huge line between what is for safety and what is privacy. One of the biggest things that have come up, the latest number that I saw, 50, but there's been at least 50 reports of officers and licensed agencies using this camera data inappropriately, looking up people, tracking X's. And it says to be the problem. You have people who are going through, they're literally cutting down these poles. One of the things that I think is really, really interesting is Flock is not selling cameras. They lease access. So when you see a Flock camera go up, it's not your city, your municipality. It's Flock's.
Yep.
So I think that subscription model helps smaller municipalities. So if they want to be able to post up, get it set up in their neighborhoods or communities, it is marketed as an option to be able to do that. But for most critics, what we're saying is that we are now allowing a private company to set up essentially a private network of cameras that are watching and monitoring and tracking. And if you just look at the history of marginalized people, Black people living through various different versions of the surveillance area, where we had stop and frisk, we had the amount of Black people who are stopped for traffic enforcements. Now to essentially just put a camera on every corner without a warrant is basically just allowing full-time surveillance. And there's a lot of questions on what people are going to be doing with these. What are these agencies going to do? And the transparency, what are they searching for? And a lot of these questions have not been answered. So we are starting to see in various states, Tennessee is one of the big ones, where you're starting to see legislation come up to go ahead, block and ban this type of technology from existing. That the cost of privacy is not worth, the cost of safety is not worth the privacy that we will have to give up to be able to allow this to exist and function. But it's happening more and more places. And it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Now, North Carolina, like I said, we had a pilot program. In that pilot program, these cameras scanned over 150 million scans as of March of this year across the 32 agencies. And of 40,000 plus ICE-linked lookups found only one person. So one of the other things that there's been a lot of conversations about ICE being able to leverage this to do its searching and tracking. And in this, it's only been able to find one person for ICE. So it's going to be interesting. And we'll see kind of how this progresses. I know municipalities aren't necessarily happy that people keep cutting these down. But it's becoming painfully obvious that communities do not, very much like data centers, communities do not want these things in their neighborhood. So we'll see how this progresses, and especially here in North Carolina. And Chuck, it'll be interesting to see how the conversation changes your way, because Atlanta is where Flock is headquarters at.
Yep.
Listen, Atlanta is the most surveilled city in the country because we have hundreds of thousands. I don't remember the exact number, but it's thousands of flock cameras everywhere. Everywhere. And it's funny that this was your spotlight because I contemplated something similar to this in my spotlight this week, referencing back to the the June 29th ruling about the Supreme Court in reference to the Fourth Amendment and the geofence warrants, and how even these geofence data requests from the likes of Google and the different companies still fall under the Fourth Amendment. So police have to get a warrant. And there has been questions of, does this include flock cameras, although license plates are public in public spaces and public information? What kind of public information? But not really, because everybody don't have access to it, but it's seen in a public space. So no different than if you're in a public space and I'm filming, I can film you because you're in a public space without having to get your consent or permission. And so there has been some question if that will be put before the Supreme Court as well. But in reference to your number about the 50, I actually just saw an article last week that there's been almost 100 officers in APD who are
just Atlanta?
Just Atlanta. Just Atlanta, who are in investigation. In this, the article was focusing on one officer who has been relieved of duty because he used the Flock database to track someone on many instances. And as the report goes and the investigation has gone, there's a litany of searches that have happened that have nothing to do with any kind of investigation or case. And so there is legislation and talks of protocol being put in place to where, if I'm not mistaken, when they do a search, they have to have a case number to be able to do a search and not just throw in a license plate. But yeah, man, this stuff is interesting. And before we move on, you hear Flock now. Flock is a name now. And I heard a very tinfoil hat conversation about Flock and the Flock wave. But there's another company that has come out with these same type of cameras. It's called Axon, AXON, or Axon, where there's many areas and many cities where people have, lifted their voice up against Flock, and these municipalities are like, okay, we'll take the Flock cameras down. And then these Axon cameras pop up.
New name.
Even to the point, I seen one video where, the speed radars, where you're riding by and it tells you how fast you're going. There's a Flock or a camera built in and put into the backside of that speedometer or speed check. So as you pass it, it catches your license plate. Yeah. So great spotlight, brother. Yeah, it's some stuff out there.
All right, Brother Chuck.
So my spotlight, brother. Man, I had gone back and forth about a couple different things, but then I came across something that we kind of had discussed about on the podcast before, but it really has been spiked my interest and my attention. We talked about a long time ago the DHS funding issues and when they couldn't get funding, and we talked about all the things with Mark Wayne Mullen and how he's leading DHS, and my good brothers here have even talked about how ICE has gotten all the attention about DHS, but there's many other entities in DHS that are suffering, even though their names are not in the headlines. One of those entities is CISA. And you ask, what is CISA? Because it's not a sexy name.
Well, how about to say the singer?
Bruh.
Bruh.
CISA is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. And this agency is one who protects critical national infrastructure from cyber and physical threats. And you ask, why are you talking about this? Well, there's a report that came out that Iran has had cyber attacks against municipalities and our water supply. And so with these attacks, what is happening is these systems are getting hacked. It's causing different system shutdowns at wastewater facilities and water treatment facilities. You mess with our water, we can't drink, we can't eat, we can't cook, we can't wash our tails. And there have been numerous attacks in many different states. Just to name a few: Michigan, New Jersey, South Dakota, Washington State, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Minnesota. And I leave those two last for a particular reason that I'll get to. But in these attacks, there are smaller towns, smaller municipalities, no major cities yet where these attacks have been happening. Some of the things that have happened is where the hackers have gone through an exploit on the internet and been able to hack into systems to where they shut the system down, but they've cut off the alarm that would notify people that there's been a system issue. So now that the system is down,
they don't even know what to do.
They don't even know what's going on. One particular instance, and the reason I emphasize Georgia, Clayton County, Georgia, is a suburb in the Atlanta metro area. Home of Lotto. Hey, boo. They had a boil water alert happen. And I remember the day when it came on. Again, it's in metro Atlanta. It's right. It's one of those counties that sits right around Atlanta. That's right there. So, and if I'm watching the news, I'm going to see it about Clayton County. And I said, at that time, it was it didn't make a big alert to me because for those who've never been to Atlanta, we call it the metal plate capital of the world, because if there's a road issue, they just slap a metal plate over it. If there's a busted pipe, they dig a hole, cut the water off, slap a metal plate over it. So I was thinking it was one of those situations where there was a busted pipe because the infrastructure needs some work. Then come to find out, it's one of those targeted attacks from Iran.
Got to be more careful.
Got to be more careful. Then Minnesota. They've had the most attacks in Minnesota per reports. And, reporters saw this. The agencies realized that it could potentially be Iranian attacks. And they asked Donald Trump about this. And you know what Donald Trump said? Oh, that wasn't Iran. That wasn't Iran. That's happened because the governor of Minnesota is incompetent.
Bruh. I remember seeing this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so
I was not expecting that curveball.
Yes.
So what we got to worry about?
We ain't got to worry about. But I bring up CISA in the beginning because if you hadn't realized, there's been staffing cuts. They've lost over a third of their staffing since January 2025. Some of that is from DOGE and the workforce realignment. Some of that is early retirement. That's the natural process of, having people in jobs. Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The matriculation of the workforce. But then we have these things where they're cutting necessary jobs, many vital areas. This is a cybersecurity agency. This is 2026. a lot of attacks, a lot of framework, a lot of we was just talking about the elections being compromised or the thought of elections being compromised and influenced through cyber attacks. They said Russia interfered. Donald Trump said China interfered. I can tell you they didn't just have people over here with guns to people's heads telling them to vote any kind of way. The propaganda that popped up on Facebook didn't just happen because somebody physically put it there.
Mm-hmm.
These were cyber attacks. And you have an agency specifically meant to pay attention to, combat, and alert the necessary entities when they see irregularities and things happening. But you cut a third of the job force? Don't say like you properly prepared to me. So it's my spotlight because one, I want you to pay attention to these things. But two, Iran can't send a missile over here. Mm-hmm. They just don't have the capability for a long range missile. Geographically, we're not close to them. Yes, they've shot at some of our allies and military bases. But if I can't put my hands on you, I'm going to get to you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, our water supply is not as heavily fortified and secured and protected like our power grid or like our travel systems. Because it's so fragmented. There's so many individual municipalities who handle their own water supplies and own water treatment facilities. So there's different levels of protocols and securities. And some people just don't have as robust of a system as the larger cities. They just can't do it. They're small town. So if I can't get a missile over there, I'll find a way to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
And our government has left them very vulnerable and open by the reduction of CISA. That's my spotlight, brother.
All right. Well, to bring it full circle, my spotlight of the week, I have two, and one will be an announcement that I don't believe my brothers know. So this will be a real-time reaction to the announcement that I will make after my original spotlight. But my spotlight of the week is staying in the Middle East because there's something major going on and we have an issue. And if by now you haven't watched this or listened to this episode enough or this podcast enough, you know that if it's in the Middle East, one of the problems got to be Israel, of course. So President Bibi or Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister, has now rejected the latest U.S.-backed 15-point plan for Gaza. Trump got his border piece together, finally able to come to terms with a deal with Hamas on what to do to end the conflict that's in Gaza. And Bibi said, not going to happen. Bibi said that Israel will not withdraw until Hamas is genuinely and completely disarmed, not partially disarmed. I believe the plan in the 15-point plan was to have a reduction, and as that happened, it'd be in waves and in steps. Bibi said, I'm not backing down till they do it completely. So you essentially have a geopolitical game going on of someone saying you first, no, you first, until something happens. Except instead of arguing over who hangs up the phone first or who stops doing this first, doing that, you have military withdrawal, weapons, Palestinian citizens, Israeli security, and really, if we're being completely honest, the future of Gaza. That is what is at stake. We spent years talking about America's relationship with Israel almost as though America's support automatically means that Israeli government gets American support regardless of whether it follows America's diplomatic strategy. Now, you would think that obviously, if the U.S. has this plan together, it should be foolproof for Israel. But we're seeing now that the relationship is even more strained because we are constantly trying to get somewhere and we're getting held up by this road block that is called Israel. We've seen it happen with the ceasefire and things of that nature that happened with Gaza before, with Lebanon. We've seen it with Iran. The common denominator is U.S. seems to not be able to do what they need to do to keep Israel at bay. Here you have a 15-point plan that is agreed upon by all sides, but the one that is not willing to let up whatsoever. Mind you, that's still a what people have detailed and classified as a genocide, starvation, resources that are being taken or eliminated for having access to people while still pushing a vast amount of people into this small population, this small demographic area, and consistently and constantly providing nothing for them to have any stability as this war has played out. It seems like Hamas is willing to come to the table. U.S. and Trump's Board of Peace have been able to get them to agree to something, but still we have Israel sitting here saying, not gonna do it. Now, we know that Trump don't take no well. We talked about it earlier in the episode when it came to his tantrums. He doesn't like being told no well. But what happens in this case? Because in all honesty, Trump needs a win. And if any time he needs a win now. He needs a win now. So does Trump pressure Netanyahu? Does Netanyahu compromise? Does Hamas give in to Israel and move to disarmament? We don't know, but I think that with this public statement of BB telling Trump no on this 15-point back plan, that Trump has been able to get at least 2/3 to agree to. That 1/3 is again holding back any achievement, any accomplishment for this president.
Well, I think the question is going to be, how does this election for BB go in Israel? Because how much of this is him not actually, does he actually not agree with this, or is he trying to save face for some of the hardliners that he's going up against at Israel? So I think that's the question I see from his side. But yeah, we're not in a good spot.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not in a good spot at all. So another week of more conflict. And at the end of this, still innocent people, civilians,
most
dying.
importantly,
Children, women. This is not a game. This is life. And, you know, somebody should be looking for an end. And what is BB's end? What is it? Is it impossible what he's asking for? Is it unfair? Is it strategically not in line with the region and what they're trying to do? We don't know. That's something we'll have to figure out. But I think certainly we should keep our spotlight on it. And really, hopefully, for those that listen, we don't lose sight of the spotlight that's on Gaza. Because I think with so much conflict going on in the Middle East, people are starting to forget.
It comes real easy.
More and more and more. They're still suffering. Innocents are still suffering. And I've heard the complaint that people have made, oh, well, Hamas is standing behind them and using innocent lives. That doesn't mean that we got to stoop to their level and act just as inhumane. So that's
somebody
my spotlight.
Somebody be the adult in the room.
Please. He hit me first. Can we get out of that?
Right.
Somebody's gonna say, hey, can we stop this and act like we got some sense? But that's my original spotlight of the week. And my announcement to you guys of what I just received a notification on Instagram in the socials. We were together the last time that we had all the lead together. We were down in Houston, Texas. And the brothers had a great time.
Was that really the last time?
That all of us?
Yeah.
No,
because it would have been my wedding. Would have been
your wedding.
Yeah.
The last time that the fellas were together for the funds.
For debauchery.
Okay, there we go.
The debauchery. There you go.
that didn't really happen, but
that did not
talk
happen.
about that.
we went down to Houston, and the brothers had a great time. Shout out to Houston. We had a great time. But I just received word that an establishment that we enjoy in our time down there, Camp Houston, has permanently closed its doors.
Dang.
They have closed down permanently. They have had issues with the location that people complained about, sound, and there were other things that they were fighting against, and ultimately it was announced a few hours ago that they just have decided now to close their doors permanently. And the operating group that was running the place said that they are already working on something in the future, but camp has officially closed. So to all the camp counselors that made Camp Houston. I went back to Camp Hope days.
Camp Hope.
So all the camp counselors that made Camp Houston what it was. I'm glad that we got to experience it. Manny, not so much. So he may not know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe vague for
I knew
him.
what the goal was.
But to Camp Houston, an area that frequented many talents in the music industry.
Oh yes.
I still, to our time that we went, I still keep the Instagram. I still follow the Instagram page, and always a good. The one time we went, it was a ball. So I know every time I see the pictures, the videos, who was coming there for the weekend, I knew it was a movie every time. So to those that enjoy frequent the spot, hate to hear that it's closed permanently, and hopefully the managing group that ran that place will bring something back that will hopefully be able to work in line with the local authorities and whatnot to make sure they got something going, because you hate to see a establishment close, especially when it's a good time. So, but yeah. Camp Houston, we will remember you in our thoughts. So yeah.
Oh man, I'm thrown. I gotta reach out to my homies. Some of my homies in Houston, and then one of my homegirls who's I don't want to call her an influencer because she's a successful businesswoman who loves camp as well. And dang,
I know. I seen that pop up, and I was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." That is crazy.
Oh wow.
So yeah, well,
hey,
to our listeners, we've reached the conclusion of this episode, season 3, episode 30. If you stayed for the duration of the episode and lend us our ear, we appreciate you and thank you for tuning in. To those that know us, to those that are first-time visitors, to those that are returning visitors, we ask you to like, to share, follow, subscribe, share the word, bring someone, reach one, teach one. It's like Family and Friends Day back at church. Bring somebody with you. Bring somebody with you. If you've never been to Friends and Family, maybe you've been to Vacation Bible School. Bring a friend with you.
Bring a friend.
Bring her. We got pizza. We're gonna cut a slice of pizza up 3 different ways, so we can make sure we spread it. And the drinks.
Everybody gonna get a piece.
Look,
you'll get a hug and some chips.
The drinks
you're not gonna have Coca-Cola.
Everything gonna be all brand.
Food line, whatever food line cola is.
Whatever on sale.
Mountain Thunder.
Yeah, whatever we can get 4 cases for $5.
$5.
You know
buy
what?
one get 3 free.
We gonna have some Tampico.
Oh God,
bro,
Tampico boy.
It's a Tahitian treat.
Hey, bro, Tahitian's a treat.
Whoa. Ooh, no
slam on Tahitian now. My mother-in-law to this day, bro, she can't get Tahitian up in Maryland. So when she come down here, bro, she come down here. I go and get about 4. I get about 4 or 5 2-liters. Send it on the way.
Oh yeah,
that and her cheer wine.
Bro.
Oh yes, sir.
Cheer wine.
Listen, you get you some Tahitian. You get some Tahitian treats, some cheer wine, put it in the freezer, let it get a little slush,
frosty.
I used to do that in my Sunny D. That's Sunny Delight.
That's what's diabolical.
Bro, have you had? I had
Sunny Delight is
D
diabolical
within the last year.
I'm sorry,
bro.
You had what?
I had Sunny Delight within the last year because I'm like, I wonder what this tastes like now,
bro. It can't be the same,
bro. I took a sip and was like, nope. This ain't the orange 40 that I grew up with.
Hey, listen, I said, bro, not the orange 40.
This ain't it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Hey, you get that Sunny Light, that bright and early, or that Donald Duck juice.
Oh, that Donald Duck orange juice, boy. That Donald Duck orange juice will lock up your jaw.
Hey, somebody said the other day, like, all those drinks, bro, I didn't realize. They said, you ever had a dry drink? And I said, bro, I know exactly what you mean now. You drink it and you still either just as
you gotta get some more
thirsty.
That's why Minute Maid get gone so quick. It's a dry drink, bro. You would never get hydrated drinking that drink, bro.
Never.
You gonna always, bro. That's why it get gone so quick, bro. But yeah, to our listeners, man, we thank you for tuning in. And yeah, all hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna tell y'all one more thing, and
Go
this
ahead,
was
brother.
gonna be in my "We Were Proper People." But do y'all remember the Tussie Cream deodorant?
Yeah, you gotta stick your finger in there and put it in your underarm. Yeah.
Hey, bro, we were proper people. When you went to go to your grandparents' house and you forgot your deodorant, and that's what they had for you to use.
You had to grab that tussie.
And take them 2 fingers and rub it.
Hey, but you better make sure you go wash your hand because that little bit of tussie that get underneath your nail.
Hey, bro, don't rub your eye and let that get in your eye or something, bro.
No, sir.
You messed up. That tussie be sitting beside that old bottle of pink calamine lotion
That been there since the late 1900s.
with the brown cap.
And that skin so soft that's underneath the sink.
That's all outdated.
Maybe even a box of Calgon.
Hey, bro. with that rubbing alcohol and witch hazel.
Man,
those were the days, bro.
Anyways.
All right, listeners. We're going to check y'all out in the next episode.
We'll see y'all next week.
We love you. We love you. If don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod. We love y'all. Y'all take care, and we'll see you at the next episode.
yeah.
Peace.